Divine stars in her travelling freak show The Cavalcade of Perversion, where rich conservative Baltimore suburbanites can watch in horror as gay men kiss, armpits are sniffed, heroin is injected, and puke is eaten. A front for the planned mugging of rich dweebs. The cavalcade's final act even includes being robbed by Divine herself, patrons losing their money, their drugs, and possibly even their lives if they dare talk back to her. However, as Divine's antics become even more dangerous, her ringleader David concocts a revenge plot against her with Bonnie, a performer Divine rejected from the show. They plan to kill her and go on the run, but with Divine's spies lining every seedy corner of the city, Divine catches word of their conspiracy to murder her, intending to kill them first. This is John Waters' early lo-fi no-budget revenge flick Multiple Maniacs. Rough and raw, unpolished and messy, Multiple Maniacs follows after Eat Your Makeup and Mondo Trasho, John Waters' earliest, grubbiest works, retaining a similar zero bullshit approach to depicting the depravity possible with little money to the production. Cementing his regular Dreamlanders, Divine is reinforced as a drag queen icon here, embracing transgressive absurdity in a revenge plot that is equally a rejection of conservative bourgeois convention and also a demonstration of the mental health stigmatization that perseveres into the present day. John Waters' early era of filmmaking, Eat Your Makeup, Mondo Trasho, Multiple Maniacs, and even the iconic Pink Flamingos, is a demonstration of pure DIY lo-fi filmmaking, which contributes towards why John Waters remains such an enduring icon within independent cult cinema. Multiple Maniacs itself was shot on the streets of Baltimore or within John Waters' parents' yard, with a group of his personal friends who would be known as the Dreamlanders: Divine, David Lockery, Mink Stoll, Edith Massey, Cookie Mueller, and Mary Vivian Pierce, the same faces we would meet again in Waters' next film, the legend of grotesque comedy that is Pink Flamingos. It was during these early career films that John Waters himself admits he was learning to create films as he went along, not having any formal or technical training. Speaking in an interview with A-Frame, the Academy's Guide to Movies, while referencing his film Eat Your Makeup, John Waters stated, "I wouldn't have known what I was doing. When it came to editing, I didn't even know there was such a thing. I just shot each take in order, and that was the movie." It's this unabashed audacity and confidence in filmmaking that makes John Waters' early career work so distinctive and admirable. They're rough, ugly, and purely filthy films aiming to disrupt the notions of good taste, but they're also endearing examples of a filmmaker and his friends adamant in creating comedy and art that would appeal to themselves. There's a sincere lesson here that many aspiring filmmakers will benefit from. Just go out, film anything with your friends, make mistakes, and be audacious enough to create something that will appeal to your friends, to your niche, to yourself. Multiple Maniacs makes no efforts to hide its minuscule budget. Some scenes continue filming when actors forget their lines, and sequences shot in public highlight examples of real pedestrians and shopkeepers staring at Divine and the filmmakers in absolute disdain. This is a film that still retains its shock humour impact today due to its raunchy, wild scenes scattered throughout the film. Anal sex in a real church with rosary beads used as a substitute for anal beads, a retelling of the crucifixion of Christ intercut with orgasms, murdered teens followed by a rampage through downtown Baltimore, cannibalism, and even a gigantic lobster which sexually overpowers Divine. Multiple Maniacs is aiming to strive for the unpredictable, only to then cross the line and strive for something further beyond. If the film continues to shock, or ignite any laughter 50 years later, then the film succeeds in disrupting the sheltered conservative notions of acceptability in society, just like the genuine reactions of the passers-by throughout the film. This film is intent on dismantling what we deem acceptable, scrutinising how superficial ideas of good taste truly are when they can be demolished by the sight of anal sex in a church. Revenge and madness are the central motifs within the film. The title implies this already, but much of the loose narrative fixates on David and Divine's plots to kill one another. As the bodies pile up, with only Divine left standing, she is willing to burn down the city of Baltimore, leaving only destruction and the death of suburbia in her wake. While the underlying seediness of a suburban Americana is presented and amplified here, the finale of Multiple Maniacs further extends its focus on an extreme rejection of American conservative convention. When many conservatives harass queer people as being blasphemous undesirables, what serves as a better form of queer protest than leaning into this notion to further piss off the status quo? It isn't a coincidence that Divine targets rich teens in cars, stalking around suburban homes, and rampages after the wealthy. However, Divine's descent into violent madness, whether intentional or not, also suggests a stigmatization regarding how society treats mental instability. With fear, with disdain, violence, ignorance, and cheers when it no longer becomes a visible blemish on a repressive world. Divine is killed by soldiers with rifles, followed by a crowd's joy at her bloodshed. Divine was a wild chaos who would be willing to destroy an entire city if the film's budget even allowed for it, but her descent into madness is clear as day, warned and foreshadowed throughout the film. While satiric, excessive, and humorous, it's difficult to shake Multiple Maniacs as some absurdist reflection on how the world treats the mentally unwell, brushing them aside, forcing them into a life as an outsider, offering no resolution besides extermination. With this interpretation of Multiple Maniacs, it provides the film with a surprisingly harrowing relevancy when considering stigmatization continues to persevere, encouraging the othering and exclusion of people that a conservative, sheltered mindset may consider distasteful. In conclusion, John Waters' Multiple Maniacs, while an unpolished, unrestrained, messy film, retains many of John Waters' trademarks that makes him such an endearing treasure of independent American cinema. The long-winded, overwrought monologues, the overacting, the depictions of low-budget spectacles which mesh the comedic with the disturbing. Multiple Maniacs has it all, while also serving as a rejection of sheltered suburban conservative notions of good taste, embracing its queer-as-fuck, wildly unpredictable characters who never shy away from the openness of their mental instability. Audacious, confident, and unbothered by who may be put off by its crudeness, Multiple Maniacs deserves its cult reputation, serving as a reminder that if we want to film literally anything, maybe we should also reject cinematic convention and just do it ourselves. A special thank you to my incredible tier patron supporter Gil, and my super tier patron supporters Constantine Bombelli, Jamie, and Milkway.